Laying in a dandelion-littered grassy field, feeling the warmth of the sun's welcoming rays, embracing every inch of your skin, and looking up into the vastly never-ending blue sky. That's a cloud watching arena. But in this game, there are no rules and endless ways to play. Each round gets more intricate as you expand into the realm of your imagination, to look for magic manifested right before your eyes. Every human being has their own unique DNA and a genetic coding all to their own. It's what makes us all sound different and look different, but it's also what makes the processing mechanics of our brains work different. Our eyes take in visual cues from our environment, but our brains have vastly different chemical reactions to that information. Our brains seek to assign meaning to each and every experience. So in the face of ambiguity, it will project the closest relating memory it has onto said ambiguous environment. We gaze upwards at the clouds and our brains search for meaning, connecting each shape, shadow, and texture we perceive to anything that it could possibly remember, anything that it could possibly resemble that relates to us and our individual memories. This is a true form of a visualization meditation, where your body is so concentrated on the sensations of the eyes that the rest of your body slips into the deeply nourishing theta state of relaxation. The visions that your brain brings forth are specific to you and the hidden inner workings of your subconscious mind. Even an image as mundane as a misshapen bunny holds keys to your own secrets trapped inside. Because it's not about the specific image. It's not about the bunny. It's about your relationship to the bunny. How it makes you feel, what memories of people, places, situations, and ideas that the thought of a bunny conjures up to the surface of your mind. The image you see is a gateway to your understanding, what that symbolism represents to you, and only you. Do you associate it with happy thoughts, anxious ones, or even anger? What's the first thing that your image reminds you of? This is how cloud watching shows you exactly how you operate and what emotional perspectives you approach the world, your multifaceted life, and at a core level, your identity through. We've all heard of the ink block test used by psychologists to understand the emotional makeup of their patient's personality. Cloud watching works the same way, just on an infinitely larger scale. And instead of a psychologist, you get to be the one who explores the playground of your psychological makeup. And you get to be the one that makes profound reality-shaping discoveries that have been waiting for you to uncover them into the light of day. When we sleep during the darkness of the night, our brain does this same process unconsciously to give us dreams. There are tons of resources to help you interpret your night dreams. It's Freudian psychology at its finest. But the same theories can be applied to your daydreams too. Those that are stimulated by an activity as simple as cloud watching. The main difference that comes with daydreaming is the control that you're allowed by consciously exploring these dreams. Daydreaming can have a bad rep. It's from teachers catching us in our formative years and snapping us back to reality. But they were snapping us back to their reality, which is inherently different than ours, considering that they too have their own genetic coding running the show of interpreting their data sets of visual stimuli. There have been many who have taken upon themselves to try and bring me back down to earth. And in light of the fact that they presume that I'm incapable of practicality, in doing so, I shall explain why I won't meet their request in a rather impractical way. When we're daydreaming, we're still obviously standing on Earth. If you can see me, then we're on Earth. Yet, I do not deny that my head is in the clouds. And similar to the anatomy of a giraffe, metaphorically speaking, of course, my neck is tall so that I may take actual steps with my feet and legs while still being afforded the luxury of having my eyes placed at a higher perspective. Yes, my head is in the clouds, and some may assume that it means that I'm blocked from seeing what's happening on Earth. But if they had their head next to mine, then they'd know that the clouds are just water with holes. The clouds are in fact the most practical place for a head to be, because it is only from up there that one can see a bigger picture, the whole map with all the many destinations. Now I can see which spot on the map is most enjoyable, and I can see the exact path to take with the least amount of obstacles so that I may know where to put my feet back down on Earth. It is those whose heads are in the clouds that know that they are where they're going. As a matter of fact, they might even know where everyone is going, maybe even where you are going, or where your teacher is going with their presumptions, their presumptuous definition of practicality that seems to be secretly derived from the hatred of people who know where they're headed, and their self-deprecating fear that they may not ever be capable of knowing that same thing, but they are capable of it. To me, it seems that rather impractical to base a definition of what is practical on one's own deep-seated need to keep everyone in the dark, with them, alongside them in the dark, only for the mere reason that they can't even imagine a world where there is light to be had, that there is a light to be seen, that there is another perspective. John Lennon was a daydreamer. He had his head in the clouds. He's a self-proclaimed cloud watcher. Imagine there's no heaven. It's easy if you try. No hell below us, above us only sky. Cloud watching is the practice of looking into the sky to take in everything that you can see in that moment, free from any punishment or reward that comes with heaven and hell. Just simply being and observing your own personal meanings rather than anything bestowed upon you by an outside institution. It's a chance to feel connected to all aspects of who you are at an individual level, so that your truest self can be the director of how you relate to the world, of where you move on the map. So yeah, don't forget to cloud watch.